For the longest time, if you wanted really high-quality text-to-speech, you had to go to the cloud. And that always means, well, lag. A new model called Soprano is looking to completely change that game. The idea is to get rid of that delay by running everything right on your own device. It's a really interesting new take on that classic trade-off between getting a quick response and getting a great-sounding voice.
All right, so here's what we're going to cover. We'll start with the big challenge in text-to-speech. Then we'll meet Soprano, see what makes it tick, and how to get it running. After that, we'll actually hear it in action with a sound test, and finally, we'll give our verdict on it. Okay, first up, the text-to-speech challenge. To really get what makes Soprano so special, you first have to understand this fundamental problem, this trade-off that's at the heart of pretty much every TTS system out there. So, it's always been this kind of pick-two situation. You want speed, okay, but you might have to sacrifice quality. You want incredible lifelike audio. Well, that's going to take a ton of processing power, so you'll probably need a beefy cloud server. Or you want it to be efficient enough to run on your laptop. Great, but then you're probably not getting top-tier speed or quality. Getting all three, speed, quality, and efficiency all at the same time, that's been the holy grail, the biggest hurdle in this space for a long, long time. And that brings us right to Soprano. It's a new model that's trying to do exactly that, challenge those old trade-offs and deliver some serious on-device performance without making you give up too much.
So let's talk numbers. The first one is a big one, 20x. Soprano can generate audio up to 20 times faster than real-time. And get this, it does that on a regular old CPU. We're not talking about needing some fancy, expensive GPU. This is performance you can get on pretty much any standard machine.
And that speed is paired with some serious efficiency. It's super lightweight, needing less than 1 GB of memory to run. I mean, that's just wild. It means you can realistically run this on almost any modern laptop, making it perfect for all sorts of on-device apps. So how does it do all this? Well, it's all packed into a really compact model, just 80 million parameters. That small size is the secret sauce, really. It's what lets Soprano be so incredibly fast and so light on resources at the same time. But it's not just about speed and size. Soprano is really built to be used in the real world. You get this crystal clear 32 kilohertz audio, and the latency is super low. We're talking under 250 milliseconds on a CPU. It can handle really long text because it just automatically splits it into chunks. It works on Windows, Linux, Mac, the whole shebang. Plus, it comes with a web UI and a command line interface, so it's ready to go right out of the box. Oh, and this is huge. It has an OpenAI-compatible endpoint. That means you can pretty much just drop it into any app that's already set up to use OpenAI's APIs. Super convenient. Okay, so you're probably wondering, how hard is it to get this thing running myself? Well, you're about to see just how simple it really is. Seriously, it's just 3 steps. First, you'll want to create a Python environment, just to keep your project nice and tidy. Then, it's just one single pip command to install it. And finally, you just launch the web UI. That's literally it. You're ready to go. Now, here's a little pro tip for you, just in case you run into a snag. Sometimes the web UI might not launch. If that happens, don't panic. It's usually just a couple of missing parameters in a config file. All you have to do is open up the generation config.json file, add them in manually, and you'll be good to go. It's a quick and easy fix. And hey, if you're someone who likes to tinker and really push things to the limit, you can get even more speed out of it. You can play around with a few command line flags, things like cache size and decoder batch size, to really fine-tune the performance and squeeze every last drop of speed out of your specific machine. All right, enough with the specs and setup. Let's get to the main event. It's time to actually put Soprano to the test and hear how it sounds. So for our first test, we've got a simple, pretty casual piece of text. Let's see how it does. Okay, so that took about 5 seconds to generate. And you know what? The voice is super clear, the pacing feels pretty natural. For something that fast, it handled that conversational tone really well. Next up, we're going to try something a little longer, a little more emotional. Let's give it a listen. Wow. Okay, so that was a 25-second clip, and it was generated in just 6 seconds. I mean, the speed is just incredible. You can't deny that. But you can also hear that the delivery is a bit flat, right? All the words are there, they're pronounced correctly, but that emotional punch just isn't there. Okay, for our last test, let's try something a bit more complex, a little more philosophical. Here we go. And again, blazing fast. There's maybe a little hint of realism in the rhythm of the speech there, but it's still missing that deeper, more nuanced expression you'd need to really sell the meaning behind those words.
So if we look at all the results together, a really clear pattern starts to emerge. It doesn't matter if the text is short and casual or long and emotional or even philosophical, the generation time is always super, super low. We're talking a few seconds of work on the CPU's part for over 20 seconds of audio. Speed is, without a doubt, Soprano's killer feature. All right, so we've seen how it works and we've heard how it sounds. It's time for the final verdict. Where does Soprano really shine, and where does it fall a little short? Okay, let's break it down. On the pro side, the list is pretty impressive. You've got that insane speed on a regular CPU, a super low memory footprint, it's a breeze to install locally, and it's built to be dropped right into a real product. Now, for the cons. It definitely lacks that emotional nuance. Right now, it's English only, it can sometimes stumble over uncommon words, and, its training data is only about 1,000 hours, which is on the smaller side these days. So, what's the perfect job for Soprano? Where is this thing a total game changer? It's really for any real-time, on-device app where speed is the #1 priority. I'm thinking of things like voice assistants that need to answer you instantly, or accessibility tools like screen readers where you need that immediate feedback. Even dynamic in-game narration, where the voiceover has to happen right now with zero lag. So here's the bottom line. Soprano makes real-time, on-device voice a thing that you can actually do right now. It's a practical reality. And it gets there by making a very smart, very deliberate choice. It puts lightning-fast speed ahead of deep emotional delivery. And for any app out there where getting an instant response is way more important than getting a dramatic performance, Soprano isn't just a little step forward. It's a massive leap in what we thought was possible.